All right, we're back. Day 3. Those who used my link will have my name showing up on your Zoom. So if your name is messed up from using my link, just rename yourself with the 3 dots, just so we're clear on who's who. Because that's the only way around it. Unfortunately, the way this meeting's set up is it gives everyone a unique link, but not everyone has their unique link. So that's why I sent out my link. So again, if you show up as Mitch on your name, I'd appreciate you just hitting the 3 dots, hit rename, just toss in your first name there so we can easily identify who's who. Back for day 3 of the Eat More, Lose More Metabolism Challenge. Hopefully you've gotten a lot of value so far. Type a 1 in the chat if you've gotten some good takeaways from our first 2 days. And we're going to continue to ramp things up here as we go. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay. All right. So again, if your name comes in a little funky, it shows my name. All good. Just rename yourself and we'll go from there. All right. Really quickly, I'm going to pop open my slides. So hopefully everyone can see this. Quick thumbs up if you do. Type a yes in the chat if you're not on video. Yes, there we go. There's some ones at least. There's a yes. Perfect. So day 3, just to recap though, 2 days into this, this is where people start to fizzle out. I'm actually impressed that we're still got 20 some participants, 15 on Facebook. Because oftentimes with these kind of things, day 1 is where the dopamine's highest. People show up in droves, and then each day incrementally we start to fizzle out. And unfortunately, that's the human condition. And there are ways to avoid that and continue to implement, and coaching is one of them. But we'll continue to show up with value today for those who are here. Awesome. So we learned how much calories our body actually needs. Usually it's pretty eye-opening when we do those calculators that, okay, wow, I'm fairly sedentary, more than I thought. I only need this many calories to maintain my weight. No wonder I'm stuck. So then you run through the calculator, the CAP calculator we talked about, and you know how much calories you need to eat to lose weight consistently. The hard part is doing it, and that's what we're going to continue to push forward here. But we're going to share today how to get your activity factor higher so that you actually can eat more and lose more. And if your calculator came through at a lower number than you liked on day 1, we're going to show you a way to get it up at least 1 notch so that you have more calories to work with to lose equal amounts of weight. Because frankly, the more you can eat and still lose, the better off we'll all be, right? We also learned the power of protein and pump up strength workouts, because we don't just want to lose weight. We want to lose fat and maintain lean muscle for a million reasons that I spoke about yesterday. Watch the replay if you missed it. But primarily so that we have a higher resting metabolism and we are more likely to maintain results. So that's 1-2 punch today. We're going to get into the hidden obstacle that's going to, if you correct it, it's going up your calorie burn by default. Okay, so quickly before we get into that, for those who aren't members, who want to take the fast track to their goals working with me, we will be sharing more details in the days ahead, but there is that opportunity. And I see a few names here. Sierra, hopefully I pronounced that right. Miranda, Dave, I've already booked in for this. It's our first 20 pounds beta group. So members, there will be a challenge within the group that you can optionally apply for through this, included with your membership, but this is for non-members. We are doing this starting in as early as next week, May 1st for the majority. Okay. So how to get in on that? Simply put, book in your chat to start this week. Looks like you're already renamed, Sierra, so you're good if you fixed it. So I'm going to punch this into the chat. You can do this on your own time or do it now if you're ready. Just like those 3 aforementioned people. Actually, we booked all 8. So we opened up 6 more, but those are the 3 I see from the list of people on live. So I encourage you to do that. No pressure beyond that chat, but this is where we're going to come with value and customize it for you. Put all the pieces together. All right. So today's topic, as promised, hidden obstacles slowing your metabolism. What is it? Well, it's not what you're doing in the gym. You know, I don't care if you're working out really hard for 45 minutes, Orange Theory, F45, even a strength workout. None of those are really going to move the needle from a metabolism perspective. They serve a role. Exercise is good for you. We understand that. But simply from metabolism, ramping up metabolism and losing more fat, it's what you do the other 23 hours of the day. And that includes sleep. Sleep is important too. So, what is NEAT and how much of a difference can it make? NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. For those who are on a walking treadmill right now, or they're standing watching this, they're burning more calories than the rest of us sitting down. Okay, so that's really what NEAT is. It's the exercise you do that isn't really exercise, that you don't really even count, but it all adds up. How much so? Well, there was a research paper done, on sedentary workers versus obviously roofers. Farmers in this particular instance was burning 3 times as many calories as someone who was sitting at their desk and simply couldn't or wouldn't move at all throughout the day. So at rest, 2,300 calories versus 700. Big difference. Now, not all bad news if you don't have a job that requires you to be moving all day. Most of us don't. But even just not moving at all versus moving a bit, going to the water cooler, breaking up your day with a 10-minute walk, made a 50% difference in energy expenditure. So try not to just, I'm too busy, I can't move, my job requires me to be chained to my desk. You'll find 10 minutes away, ideally outdoors in nature without your devices, you'll come back and be 10 times as productive. You'll have a breakthrough on that problem you're stewing over because you've given your body and brain the energy it needs to tackle those challenges. So that's the double whammy here. It benefits you in your job, and it benefits you from a fat loss perspective. It's going to ramp up your metabolism if you get your step count up 25% even. So all this means for the majority who have a job that requires them to be at a desk, or they commute in a car and they like to watch their favorite Netflix shows on the couch all night, you need to schedule it in. So I like the 2 birds with 1 stone approach. Combine walking with work. Taking a call, if it doesn't require video, can be done just pacing around your office, or if you're at home, around your kitchen. Getting in walks with the kids, or if you go to, and this happens a lot with our clients, is, I didn't really realize I didn't have to sit and watch the swim lesson. I could actually walk around the track that is in the facility and still see what they're doing and give them the old heads up when they make eye contact, right? That's important. Having dogs is helpful. None of this stuff is high intensity. That's the takeaway here. It's sustainable if you can get your steps in every day. You're not going to burn out because it's not high intensity, high impact on your joints. It's simply walking and as brisk as you safely can. Okay. So what's one way for those who are already a pro at this or not? What's one way you're going to add in a bit of steps to your day? Drop that in the chat. I'd love to get a short list going of ideas. The power of the hive, right? It's more effective with 20 people sharing their insights versus 1. We're not moving on until we get a few. I see you feverishly typing. That's a good sign. Standing desk more, Martha. Perfect. Pacing the home office goes far. And some people have my name on them. Set a reminder to get moving. Walk while watching Netflix. I think that's a big one, Jennifer. Is Irene says the same. Walk during commercials. If you can get your walking pad, or you have your treadmill set up in a way that you can watch the TV and watch your favorite program, or watch the Jets game and get a little bit of steps in, even if it's just half a period or 1 period or 1 episode, huge difference. Your dog will be happy, Faye. Walking with the dog, walking during meetings. Yeah, I'd love to give credit to the person that has my name, Mitch Calvert. I use my treadmill while watching hockey games. Grab a friend and go for a walk. See, there you go. Make it a social thing. Catch up. Much better than a phone call sitting at home. More personal that way. All right, great stuff. Keep those coming. So where to start is not to obsess about that 10,000 steps unless you're already in range of that. It's just to try to up your step count by 25%. And an extra 1,500 steps is really just a brisk 20-minute walk. I prefer to really break them up into the smallest micro amount. A 10-minute walk is probably most realistic for the majority of us. You got another appointment coming, can you get 10 minutes? Even while the microwave is heating up your food, you got 3 minutes to walk and pace around the kitchen. Find ways, right? So that's the assignment today, is just to increase your step count by 25%. But today, what you can do today is choose one thing from the list. My list isn't fully comprehensive. The list from the chat is going to be helpful for you. Pick one thing that's going to up your step count by that 1,500-ish steps to get you close to 25%, no matter where you're starting from. And just share that in the Facebook group. I'll have it's in the guide section. Today's assignment, how are you upping your steps? Just share that with the group. We're going to have a great list by the end of that all of us can kind of pick and choose what's realistic for our situation and what isn't. And you just pick one. Just pick one, right? Too many, you'll fail. Okay. Stuart uses the treadmill while watching hockey games. Yeah, watching the Oilers, I would imagine, is exercise and frustration. So you need to get your steps in to bring down the stress hormones. I like that. Quick shot at if you don't know, the Oiler fan in the group here. You can call them out later. Okay, excellent. So again, continue to bring those ideas to the Facebook group. As soon as we're done, I'll post it and share the link in the email follow-up. That's it for today's assignment. So I want to hear from you guys. What is the goal with your movement? Certainly there's benefits from a health perspective. They show even those who walk, I think it was like 6,000 steps a day, are less likely to die prematurely. So it's quite literally walking your way to a longer life, but quality of life. And walking, pretty much all of us can do at varying degrees of speed and intensity, but walking is walking. Don't overlook this aspect. It's not sexy, but it really makes a massive difference. And it makes dieting a lot more enjoyable because you don't have to rely so much on your intake, calorie restriction. So the more you can up your activity factor from 1 to that 25% more steps a day, it's going to mean you burn more calories, you lose more weight at the same amount of food you first calculated on day 1. Excellent. So again, for those in the know, the book is launched. You get a bonus entry, 5 entries actually, into the VIP coaching draw as part of this challenge. If you drop a review and you buy the $2, I think it's $2.70 Canadian for the PDF of the book, I'd really appreciate that. But I can send you a link here if you are not sure where to find this. I think I put it in the email, but let me know. I know if you actually read through it all. It's pretty easily consumed, 108 pages. So there you go. Irene's on her walk. Oh, she's got her steps in. There it is. Look at you taking fast action. That's amazing. Awesome. All right. So the vision for all who are on this call is just to be comfortable in your own skin and present for those who are parents or not. Parents of fur babies still counts. Just that quality of life that comes with doing the right things. That's what this is about. That's what this 5-day training is giving you a sample of, is what life can look like when you commit to the basics and you commit to yourself and your health. Okay. So I keep having to remind myself, what am I doing this for? This is it. Because I was on the opposite end of this. I was the guy with the t-shirt, arguably a sweater vest on in the pool, because I really was so uncomfortable with myself in my 20s. And some people can own that and they don't feel like it really holds them back. That wasn't me. I just felt like I had to get healthy and fit for my own self. More chat coming, sorry. Oh yeah, no worries. If your name shows up as yours, you can change it with the 3 dots next to it on the video, but we'll figure it out. It's all good. Okay, So for those, oh, we got another call actually. Don, way to take fast action, Don. So those who are on the call, still kind of debilitating on the fence, maybe you're doing well on your own. Awesome. I know I'm speaking to the choir here with a lot of members already on the call. But for those who aren't, certainly you can try to do it on your own with what you've learned. We're going to be back tomorrow, regardless, with how to make time for fitness without sacrificing family time. That's going to be the topic tomorrow. And I think it'll be helpful to map out your schedule. Or you can schedule in that slam dunk session, 6-pack session. Everyone calls it a different name, but essentially there it is. Workwithmitch.ca. All right. So before we part ways, any final comments? I think we're ahead of the game in terms of time today, but we want to keep showing up here. A couple more days left. Tomorrow, the topic will be actually focused in on your calendar. I will have examples for shift workers. Hopefully I'll get a member on who is a shift worker, speak to their experience, more of a conventional 9-to-5 calendar, and then more of a business owner working all day, but have gaps in your day to fit this in. And we'll actually go into Google Calendar and kind of punch in what it looks like and give you some clarity on how to get more consistent with scheduled workouts, getting your walks in. It feels like a lot at first, but once you actually map it out that way, it comes pretty quickly and the results come fast. Okay. That's it. White screen. We're done. All good. Any final questions on steps, movement, upping your metabolism? Going once, twice. Quiet group today. Might have to call on a member really quickly. Unfortunately, all the names are showing up as me now. People are using my link. I'm not going to call on myself. There we go. Irene, I know you're too far away from your screen, so I'll save you for tomorrow, but I wanted to. There you are. How are you finding you're getting your steps in? Do you mind sharing? So I know you got a walking pad, so I think that might be a good example to kind of share with the group.
I do try to use the walking pad. Sometimes I move it into the front room if I haven't been doing enough steps during the daytime. And in 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, I can do 1,000 steps easily. And yeah, I walk during commercials and I try to, and I don't always walk on the walking pad, but I have a route through my home that I use every day. And it may be boring, but I do look out the window and sometimes there's something interesting going on out there to watch. So yeah, it's just doing that walking and then walking in town. I'm known as a walker. People will say, I see you walking all the time. So yeah, I try and walk to the post office, walk for groceries. I use the car as little as possible.
Yes.
And I can carry those weights, whether, it's a couple of things of milk or whatever it is. Probably I'm carrying sometimes 10 or 12 pounds, 14 pounds home easily.
Yeah. And that's from all the strength work you're doing. We won't share your age, but yeah, you just had your mom pass and well into her hundreds, and you're well on your way.
Okay, I've been thinking about that. What she has done is she's made decisions for herself to move here to Pilot Mound, to give up her car, to go to personal care. She also ate very healthy food, almost never in restaurants, because she was born in Eastern Manitoba on a farm. She lived a farm life. And because of the age that she was going up in, people just didn't go to restaurants. So she cooked all her own food, did a lot of canning. When we made cake, when she baked a cake, she never iced a cake unless it was going to a shower for somebody.
Wow, discipline.
Yeah, so there's lots of good stuff. And she did heavy work. My parents built 5 different houses and she made the mortar for the bricklaying and carried it over to my dad, who was laying the bricks, carried bricks over to them, helped put up drywall. Yeah, heavy work. And was determined that she would not be in a wheelchair as some of her friends were until she absolutely had to.
There you go.
great life.
And how old was she? You said 100,
103.
103.
103.
Yeah, so there's some real takeaways on the secrets to
And
longevity.
she could still, from the wheelchair, she was still lifting her legs onto a chair in front of her because that's the way she liked to sit in the wheelchair.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Weird.
So
Yeah,
lift up heavy things, eat whole foods. A lot of these are kind of going hand in hand with the sessions we focused on today, the basics, right? Crazy
absolutely.
miracles, miracle worker, the basic stuff. Awesome, Irene. Thanks for sharing that. We had a question in the chat. Is there an easy conversion if you opt to go for a long bike ride versus walk? Yes and no. If you have a step counter or an Apple Watch, actually strap it to your shoelace and it should track fairly accurately that way. Just kind of keeps the same cadence of steps. So that's one way to do it. But there's no like perfect 30-minute bike ride equals hour and a half walk. But don't lose sight of the fact is moving more is going to be beneficial. So it doesn't have to be a perfect conversion, but if you prefer the bike, go to town on that. Awesome. Any other members who saw real benefits just upping their step counts? I won't call you guys out if you don't want to speak to that, but no, good. Just do it. In other words, okay. Hopefully people are convinced by what I said. All right, we'll leave it there for today. Good stuff continuing to show up. I love it. Only 2 days left here to round this whole out. And tomorrow we're going to get deep into actually getting your calendar fixed so that you make time for this stuff. It's worth it. I promise you. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Talk soon.